Saturn, the sixth planet from the Sun, is instantly recognizable by its iconic rings, a dazzling system of icy bands encircling the planet. Unlike any other planet in the solar system, Saturn's rings capture our imagination, appearing almost ethereal as they reflect sunlight and shimmer in space. To understand why Saturn has rings and why other planets do not, we must explore the planet's unique characteristics, its environment, and the cosmic processes that shape planetary systems. Saturn is a gas giant, second in size only to Jupiter, yet its density is remarkably low, so low that it could float in water if a planet-sized bathtub existed. This low density is not only fascinating from a physics standpoint, but it also plays a role in the planet's ability to maintain rings. Saturn's gravity, while strong enough to shape moons and influence the solar system, is gentler relative to its size compared to Jupiter. This creates a delicate balance in which particles, ice, and debris can persist in orbit without being pulled entirely into the planet. The rings themselves are composed predominantly of water ice, with particles ranging from tiny dust grains to objects several meters across. They reflect sunlight brilliantly, making them visible even with modest telescopes from Earth. Unlike the atmospheres of gas giants, which are dynamic and turbulent, the rings exist in a delicate equilibrium. They are shaped by the planet's gravity, the gravitational pull of Saturn's moons, and the slow accumulation of material from collisions and captured debris. Each particle follows a precise orbit, tracing the invisible contours dictated by Saturn's mass and rotation. The origin of Saturn's rings is a topic that has fascinated scientists for centuries. Some theories suggest that they are remnants of a moon or comet that ventured too close and was torn apart by tidal forces. Others propose that the rings are primordial, forming alongside Saturn itself, remnants of the early solar system that never coalesced into a larger body. The precise age of the rings remains uncertain, but they are dynamic and constantly changing. Collisions among particles, gravitational nudges from moons, and even the influence of Saturn's magnetic field subtly shape their structure over time. Unlike Jupiter, Uranus, or Neptune, Saturn has an extraordinary combination of mass, density, and moon interactions that allow these rings to persist. Jupiter, though more massive, has a stronger gravity that tends to clear small particles from orbit, while Uranus and Neptune, smaller and denser, lack the combination of conditions that sustain long-lasting, visible rings. Saturn's rings occupy a region known as the Roche limit, the distance within which tidal forces prevent particles from clumping into a larger moon. This unique region, combined with Saturn's specific gravitational and orbital environment, is a key reason the rings exist in their current form. Saturn is not alone in having rings. Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune have faint ring systems, but Saturn's are massive, bright, and extensive. The sheer visibility of these rings is tied to the planet's environment, its relatively low density, and the constant replenishment of material from collisions, cometary debris, and moon fragments. Over time, some rings may fade, while new particles could be added, maintaining the rings as a shimmering, ever-evolving feature. When we observe Saturn through a telescope, the rings appear solid, but they are a collection of countless individual particles, each following its own orbit. The interactions among these particles create structures such as ringlets, gaps, and waves, shaped by the gravitational influence of Saturn's moons. Some moons, called shepherd moons, orbit near the edges of rings and maintain their sharp boundaries, ensuring that the particles do not disperse into space. Saturn's rotation also plays a role. The planet spins rapidly, completing a rotation roughly every 10.5 hours. This rapid spin flattens Saturn slightly, creating an oblate shape, which affects the gravitational field and contributes to the stable orbits of ring particles. The balance between centrifugal force and gravitational pull keeps the particles in a delicate dance, moving in perfect harmony around the planet. The aesthetic and scientific appeal of Saturn's rings extends beyond our solar system. Observations of exoplanets have revealed potential ring giants in distant systems, though none have been confirmed as extensively as Saturn. By studying Saturn, astronomers gain insight into how rings form, evolve, and persist, or disappear, in the vast diversity of planetary environments across the galaxy. In essence, Saturn's rings are not a random feature. They are the product of precise cosmic conditions. The planet's mass, density, rotational speed, tidal forces, and moon interactions converge to create a system unlike any other. Understanding why Saturn has rings while other planets do not requires a journey through gravity, orbital mechanics, and the dynamic processes that govern planetary formation and evolution. Formation of Saturn's rings, and the role of moons and tidal forces. The story of Saturn's rings begins with a delicate balance of gravity, motion, and cosmic events. While we see the rings today as bright, shimmering bands, they are the product of billions of years of interactions, collisions, and gravitational sculpting. Understanding their formation requires us to explore the forces that both create and maintain them, particularly the influence of Saturn's moons and the tidal forces that govern the motion of particles within the system. One widely accepted theory suggests that Saturn's rings may have originated from the destruction of a moon or comet. If a celestial body ventured too close to Saturn, it would enter a region known as the Roche limit. Within this boundary, Saturn's tidal forces, the difference in gravitational pull on the near side versus the far side of the object, are so strong that they can tear it apart. The result is a cloud of icy debris, which gradually spreads into a thin, flat disk around the planet. Over time, the fragments collide, break apart, and settle into the elegant rings we observe today. Tidal forces do not only destroy, they also sculpt and maintain the rings. Within Saturn's Roche limit, the gravitational pull of the planet prevents particles from coalescing into a larger body. This delicate balance ensures that the rings remain diffuse and composed of countless individual particles rather than forming into another moon. At the same time, the gravitational influence of nearby moons, often called shepherd moons, maintains the sharp edges and distinct gaps within the rings. Moons like Prometheus and Pandora interact with particles in the F-ring, confining them and generating waves and twists that make the rings appear alive with motion. Collisions among ring particles are another essential factor. While collisions might seem destructive, they actually help to maintain the ring's structure. When two particles collide, they bounce, break, or grind into smaller pieces. This process distributes momentum and energy across the disk, preventing the particles from clustering into larger bodies. The constant microcollisions produce the fine, reflective ice particles that make Saturn's rings so brilliantly visible. These interactions occur continuously, creating an ever-changing yet stable system, a delicate dance choreographed by gravity and motion. Saturn's moons also contribute indirectly to ring formation through gravitational resonance. Particles in certain orbital paths feel periodic gravitational nudges from moons, which can clear gaps, create ringlets, or concentrate material in specific regions. The famous Cassini division, a dark gap in the main rings, is maintained by the influence of the moon Mimas. Even though Mimas is thousands of kilometers away, its gravity resonates with ring particles, preventing them from occupying certain orbits. This is a subtle but powerful illustration of how Saturn's mass and the interactions with its moons control the architecture of the ring system. In addition to moons and tidal forces, impacts from comets, meteoroids, and space debris continue to feed the rings. Small particles are constantly added to the system, replenishing material lost due to collisions or ejection by gravitational interactions. The rings are therefore not static. They are dynamic, evolving structures shaped by continuous processes, and Saturn's mass ensures that these processes play out on a scale unmatched by any other planet in the solar system. It is important to contrast Saturn with other gas giants. Jupiter, for example, has a faint ring system, but its rings are composed primarily of dust and are far less substantial. Jupiter's stronger gravity tends to sweep away small particles or prevent them from remaining in a thin, icy ring system like Saturn. Uranus and Neptune also have faint rings, but they are darker, less reflective, and far less massive. Saturn's specific combination of mass, density, rotational speed, and moon interactions creates a perfect storm of conditions for a large, visible ring system to form and persist. Saturn's rings also reveal a delicate interplay between time and evolution. Some theories suggest the rings may be relatively young, only a few 100 million years old, while others propose they could be as old as the planet itself. Regardless of their age, they are continuously evolving. Collisions, gravitational interactions, and tidal forces slowly alter particle distribution, creating new ringlets, gaps, and structures. This constant motion, shaped by Saturn's gravity, ensures that the rings remain both dynamic and stable, a shimmering equilibrium maintained over cosmic timescales. As we observe Saturn, we see more than ice and rock. We see a system in perpetual motion, sculpted by the invisible forces of gravity and tides. Each particle follows its path, each moon influences orbits, and the Roche limit defines the boundaries of formation. It is a reminder that Saturn's mass is not simply a measure of size, it is a controlling force, orchestrating the motion of countless objects in a harmonious and enduring dance. In contemplating the rings' formation, one can also appreciate the fragility and rarity of such structures. Conditions must align precisely. The planet's mass must be large enough to shape the particles, but not so strong as to eliminate them. Moons must interact in ways that stabilize and sculpt the rings, and material must be present to sustain the system over time. Saturn's rings are therefore a cosmic marvel, a visible manifestation of balance, gravity, and the intricate forces that shape our universe. The hidden mysteries and future of Saturn's rings, while dazzling and iconic, hold mysteries that continue to challenge astronomers. Their beauty is matched by their complexity, and their very existence raises profound questions about time, evolution, and the forces that govern planetary systems. To understand why Saturn's rings are unique, and what may lie ahead for them, we must explore their hidden dynamics, subtle interactions, and the slow processes that will shape their future. One of the enduring mysteries is the age of the rings. Are they ancient, remnants of the early solar system, or relatively young, formed from the destruction of a moon or comet in the last few 100 million years? Observations from the Cassini mission have provided critical clues. Measurements of the ring mass, the distribution of particles, and the composition of ice suggest that they may be younger than Saturn itself, but not so young as to appear newly formed. Tiny amounts of dark material, likely meteoritic dust, accumulate slowly over time, subtly altering the ring's brightness and color. The balance between these processes, the continuous renewal of particles through collisions and the gradual darkening by dust, is one of the most delicate and fascinating aspects of Saturn's ring system. Another hidden mystery lies in the microstructures within the rings. Though they appear smooth and uniform from afar, close observation reveals waves, ripples, and clumps of particles, shaped by gravitational resonances with Saturn's moons. Some structures are transient, appearing and dissipating over months or years, while others are stable over decades. Even minute moons embedded within the rings, sometimes only a few kilometers across, exert enough gravitational influence to sculpt gaps, ringlets, and spiral density waves. The dynamics of these microstructures are a testament to the subtle interplay between mass, gravity, and motion. The fate of Saturn's rings is another intriguing question. Scientists predict that the rings will not last forever. They are slowly eroding due to a process known as ring rain. Charged ice particles are drawn towards Saturn by the planet's magnetic field, raining down onto its atmosphere and gradually depleting the rings. Over tens to hundreds of millions of years, this process may reduce the rings to a faint trace, leaving Saturn without the brilliant halo that has fascinated humans for centuries. Yet even in this eventual decline, The rings demonstrate the enduring influence of Saturn's mass, orchestrating the motion and ultimate destiny of countless particles. Tidal forces, once crucial for the formation and stability of the rings, continue to shape their evolution. As moons orbit, their gravitational tugs subtly redistribute material, maintaining gaps and edges, while slow collisions grind larger particles into smaller fragments. This combination of forces ensures that the rings remain dynamic, ever-changing, and yet organized, a delicate balance sustained by Saturn's mass and its intricate system of moons. There are also mysteries in the composition of the rings, though primarily water-ice. They contain varying amounts of dust, rock, and potentially organic compounds. These variations influence their color, reflectivity, and response to light. The purity of the ice in the brightest rings suggests that the material has been replenished over time, either from moon collisions or from the ongoing breakup of small bodies. Understanding this composition helps scientists not only to trace the rings' origins, but also to glimpse the processes that shape planetary systems throughout the universe. Observations suggest that the rings may also interact with Saturn's atmosphere in subtle ways. Dust and ice particles that spiral inward influence the upper layers of the atmosphere, creating localized changes in density and chemistry. Magnetic interactions further complicate this picture, as charged particles follow invisible lines of force and interact with the planet's powerful magnetosphere. Even though the rings are outside the planet, their fate is intimately connected to Saturn itself. In the larger context, Saturn's rings serve as a window into planetary formation and evolution. By studying them, astronomers gain insight into how moons and planets interact, how debris disks around young stars may evolve, and how mass and gravity govern the architecture of entire systems. Saturn is not merely a beautiful planet. It is a laboratory for understanding the forces that shape worlds, both near and far. Finally, contemplating the rings evokes a sense of cosmic reflection. The particles shimmer, collide, and orbit, tracing paths determined by Saturn's mass. Their motion is a dance of balance and precision, a visual symphony orchestrated by gravity. They remind us that even in apparent simplicity, ice and dust orbiting a distant planet, there exists an astonishing complexity, a delicate harmony maintained over immense spans of time. The future of Saturn's rings, whether they slowly fade or are replenished by unseen processes, remains uncertain. But their presence, their beauty, and their mystery will continue to inspire scientists and dreamers alike. They are a reminder that mass, motion, and gravity do not merely shape planets. They create enduring spectacles that invite awe, reflection, and meditation. Perfect. We can create 2 or 3 more long, detailed chapters before the final summary, each exploring a different aspect of Saturn and its rings. Here, a suggested flow. The role of Saturn's magnetic field. Saturn's magnetic field is subtle yet powerful, extending far beyond the planet and interacting with its rings and moons in fascinating ways. Generated by movements within its metallic hydrogen interior, the field shapes charged particles, guides plasma, and influences the motion of ring particles. Tiny ice grains within the rings can become electrically charged from solar radiation and magnetospheric plasma, creating subtle interactions that sculpt the rings' structure over time. Auroras at Saturn's poles, similar to Earth's northern and southern lights, are a visible manifestation of this magnetic influence. Charged particles spiral along magnetic field lines, colliding with the upper atmosphere and creating shimmering curtains of light. While distant observers may focus on the visual spectacle, the magnetic field's interaction with the rings, moons, and plasma environment is ongoing and essential to the system's balance. It reinforces the idea that Saturn's mass and interior dynamics extend influence far beyond the visible planet, shaping both motion and structure on scales both grand and subtle. Comparisons with other planets to truly appreciate why Saturn has rings while other planets do not. It is essential to consider the differences between planetary giants. Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune all have ring systems, yet none compare to Saturn in size, brightness, or structure. Jupiter's rings are faint and dusty, largely invisible without specialized instruments. Uranus' rings are narrow and dark, while Neptune's are faint, incomplete, and irregular. The reasons are rooted in mass, density, and orbital dynamics. Jupiter's stronger gravity tends to sweep smaller particles away, preventing a broad, visible ring system. Uranus and Neptune, smaller and denser, lack the specific combination of tidal forces, moon interactions, and particle replenishment that sustain Saturn's magnificent rings. Saturn sits in a sweet spot, massive enough to retain particles in orbit, yet with tidal forces and moon interactions that allow icy debris to form stable, bright rings. This comparison not only highlights the uniqueness of Saturn, but also allows reflection on the delicate balance of forces in our solar system. The planets, while similar in broad classification as gas giants, demonstrate the subtle ways mass, density, and dynamics create wildly different outcomes in planetary evolution. Saturn is exceptional, a rare alignment of cosmic conditions that produces both beauty and scientific intrigue. Observations and discoveries. Our understanding of Saturn has evolved dramatically through centuries of observation. Early astronomers, even with rudimentary telescopes, marveled at its rings, though they could not resolve their true nature. Galileo first glimpsed the rings in 1610, mistaking them for years on the planet. Over time, improved telescopes revealed the full glory of the rings, their divisions and intricate structure. Modern spacecraft missions, from Pioneer and Voyager to Cassini, have transformed our understanding. Cassini, in particular, provided detailed images of ringlets, waves, and embedded moons, revealing a dynamic and complex system. The mission also measured particle composition, interactions with Saturn's magnetic field, and even subtle interactions with the atmosphere. Each discovery deepens our appreciation of the planet and its rings, showing that even seemingly static structures are in constant motion, evolving under the influence of mass, gravity, and time. Observations also remind us that Saturn is not isolated. Its rings, moons, and magnetic field interact with the solar system at large, capturing comets, affecting nearby asteroids, and contributing to a delicate equilibrium that influences planetary evolution. Saturn is a nexus of motion, force, and balance, and the more we observe, the more we understand the subtle orchestration of cosmic forces at work. The future evolution of Saturn's rings, though breathtaking in their present brilliance, are not eternal. Like all structures in the universe, they are subject to the slow but inexorable flow of time and the subtle forces of physics that govern motion, mass, and energy. Understanding their future evolution requires us to explore the processes that gradually alter their structure, redistribute material, and slowly erode the dazzling spectacle that has captivated humans for centuries. One of the most significant processes influencing the rings' future is ring rain. This phenomenon occurs when tiny ice particles, influenced by Saturn's magnetic field, acquire an electric charge and spiral slowly toward the planet. The charged particles are drawn into the upper atmosphere, where they collide with gas molecules and are absorbed. Over millions of years, this process steadily removes mass from the rings, causing them to thin and lose brightness. The rate of this ring rain is gradual, almost imperceptible on human timescales, yet over cosmic time, it will fundamentally reshape the ring system. In addition to ring rain, collisions among ring particles continue to play a transformative role. Every collision, whether gentle or violent, redistributes momentum, grinds larger fragments into smaller ones, and subtly alters orbital paths. Over millions of years, these collisions smooth out clumps, fill gaps, and in some cases lead to particles being ejected entirely from the ring system. The delicate interplay of collisional dynamics and gravitational forces ensures that the rings are never static. They are alive with motion, reshaping themselves continuously, even as they gradually lose material. Tidal forces, too, influence the ring's evolution. The Roche limit, the region around Saturn where tidal forces prevent coalescence, defines the boundaries of ring stability. Within this region, particles cannot clump together to form moons, yet outside it, debris may slowly aggregate into new moonlets. Over vast spans of time, some ring material may escape these boundaries, forming new bodies, while other regions within the rings may thin and disperse. The dynamic balance of tidal forces, particle collisions, and gravitational resonances ensures that Saturn's rings remain a complex and evolving system, even as their overall mass declines. The rings' interactions with Saturn's moons also shape their long-term future. Shepherd moons like Prometheus and Pandora maintain the sharp edges of certain rings, confining particles and preventing them from dispersing into space. Larger moons, such as Mimas, Titan, and Enceladus, influence resonances that create gaps, ringlets, and waves. As these moons orbit, they continuously nudge ring particles, redistributing material and sculpting patterns that can persist for decades or centuries. The subtle gravitational ballet between moons and rings demonstrates that the future of Saturn's rings is not solely determined by decay, but also by ongoing interactions that maintain structure amid gradual erosion. In addition to physical processes, cosmic events may influence the rings' evolution. Impacts from meteoroids and comets add new material, occasionally altering ring density or creating transient features. While these impacts are rare, they contribute to a continuous cycle of renewal and change. The rings are thus both ephemeral and enduring, constantly reshaped by forces that are at once gentle and relentless. Over millions to hundreds of millions of years, the rings will slowly thin, losing both mass and brightness. Some regions may disappear entirely, while others persist longer, depending on particle composition, interactions with moons, and the distribution of debris. The spectacular bands that we see today, the ring, B ring, and C ring, with their intricate divisions and stunning reflectivity, may one day fade into a faint halo of ice and dust, visible only to instruments capable of detecting such delicate structures. Yet even as the rings evolve and decay, they leave a lasting legacy. They reveal the delicate balance between mass, gravity, and motion, providing insight into the forces that shape planetary systems. Their existence demonstrates how a planet's mass, rotation, tidal forces, and moon interactions converge to create structures of remarkable beauty and complexity. Studying the rings, evolution allows scientists to understand not only Saturn, but the processes that may govern ring formation and decay around other planets, both within our solar system and in distant exoplanetary systems. The evolution of Saturn's rings is, in essence, a story of impermanence and balance. Though their brilliance may fade over cosmic time, the underlying forces, the gravitational command of Saturn, the subtle nudges of moons, the collisions among countless particles, continue unabated. The ring's life cycle reflects the broader rhythms of the universe, reminding us that even the most magnificent features are part of a dynamic and ever-changing cosmos. As we contemplate the future of Saturn's rings, we can imagine drifting above the planet, observing the gentle motion of ice particles, the faint shimmer of ringlets, and the graceful orbit of shepherd moons. The rings may slowly thin, but their motion remains elegant, their structure intricate, and their existence a testament to the harmony of forces that govern the universe. Even in eventual decay, Saturn's rings inspire awe, meditation, and reflection, a cosmic lesson in patience, balance, and beauty. Saturn as a window into planetary formation. Saturn is not only a magnificent planet with shimmering rings and graceful moons, it is also a living laboratory for understanding how planets form, evolve, and interact in the vast theater of the cosmos. By studying Saturn, astronomers gain insight into the processes that shape planets both near and far, and we can observe in real time how mass, gravity, and motion sculpt planetary systems. The formation of Saturn began billions of years ago, in a swirling disk of gas and dust surrounding the young sun. In this primordial environment, particles collided and coalesced, forming planetesimals, small building blocks that gradually grew into larger bodies. Saturn, a gas giant, accumulated a massive core, drawing in surrounding hydrogen and helium to form its vast gaseous envelope. Its immense mass allowed it to dominate its local region of the solar system, capturing material, influencing nearby planetesimals, and establishing the gravitational environment that would eventually support its rings and moons. Observing Saturn today allows us to understand this ancient process in exquisite detail. Its composition, density, and rotation provide clues about the conditions of the early solar system. The planet's low density suggests that its core, though massive, is enveloped by a thick layer of lighter gases, a hallmark of gas giants that distinguishes them from rocky planets like Earth or Mars. The rapid rotation, completing a turn in just over 10 hours, reflects the conservation of angular momentum from the planet's formation and helps shape its oblate form. These features are not merely physical attributes. They are the fingerprints of cosmic history, telling the story of planetary birth and evolution. Saturn's rings and moons further enrich this narrative. The rings, whether formed from a disrupted moon, cometary debris, or primordial material, reveal how tidal forces and gravity govern the distribution of matter around massive planets. Each particle follows an orbit determined by Saturn's mass and rotational dynamics. Moons interact gravitationally with these particles, sculpting gaps, ringlets, and waves. By studying these interactions, scientists learn how similar processes may operate in young planetary systems around other stars, where dust disks and nascent moons trace the early architecture of emerging worlds. The moons themselves are windows into planetary evolution. Titan, with its dense atmosphere and hydrocarbon lakes, offers insights into atmospheric formation and climate processes on a planetary scale. Enceladus, with its subsurface ocean and cryovolcanism, demonstrates the interplay between tidal forces and internal heat, showing how gravitational interactions can sustain liquid water far from the sun. Even the smallest irregular moons carry clues about capture processes, collisions, and the dynamics of planetary satellites over billions of years. Together, these moons and their interactions with the rings illuminate the mechanisms by which planets sculpt and are sculpted by their surroundings. Saturn also provides a laboratory for studying migration and resonance. Moons and ring particles interact over time through orbital resonances, where periodic gravitational tugs reinforce particular orbits. These resonances create gaps, waves, and ringlets, maintaining structure in an otherwise chaotic environment. Similar processes likely occur in exoplanetary systems, shaping the arrangement of moons, rings, and even the orbits of planets themselves. By understanding Saturn, we gain a lens through which to interpret the architecture of distant worlds, from tightly packed exoplanet systems to massive gas giants orbiting far-off stars. Studying Saturn also illuminates the role of mass in shaping planetary environments. The planet's gravity maintains its rings, shepherds its moons, and influences the distribution of nearby debris. Its magnetic field, generated by interior motions of metallic hydrogen, extends far into space, guiding charged particles and influencing interaction with the solar wind. These phenomena demonstrate how mass, combined with rotation and internal structure, dictates the behavior of a planet and its surroundings. In essence, Saturn shows us that planetary formation is not simply a process of accumulation. It is a symphony of forces, each playing a vital role in sculpting the system. The planet's rings offer additional lessons about impermanence and change. They demonstrate that even massive structures are subject to time, collisions, and erosion. The processes shaping the rings, tidal forces, moon interactions, collisions, and ring rain, mirror the forces at work in forming and evolving planets. They show us that stability is temporary, yet order can emerge from motion and chaos, that beauty can exist alongside impermanence, and that every structure in the universe carries a story of formation, evolution, and eventual transformation. In reflecting on Saturn, we see a bridge between our solar system and the wider universe. Its dynamics, rings, and moons serve as analogs for processes occurring around other stars. Dust disks observed around young stars, for instance, may represent the early stages of ring formation, moon formation, or planetary accretion. Saturn teaches us to read these distant signs, to understand that the same physical laws governing motion, mass, and gravity here also shape worlds far across the galaxy. Finally, contemplating Saturn invites a sense of wonder and reflection. Imagine drifting above the planet, seeing its vast rings shimmer in sunlight, observing moons tracing graceful paths through space, and sensing the invisible forces of gravity and tidal resonance at work. Saturn becomes more than a distant planet. It is a storyteller, revealing the secrets of planetary birth, evolution, and cosmic balance. Its rings and moons are chapters in the story, each particle a sentence, each wave a paragraph, and the planet itself a vast, meditative narrative written in ice, rock, and motion. By studying Saturn, we learn not only about one magnificent planet, but also about the universal principles that govern worlds across space and time. We learn that mass shapes motion, that gravity sculpts systems, and that beauty and order emerge from the interplay of countless forces over billions of years. Saturn is a teacher, a window into planetary formation, and a reminder that even the most distant worlds can inspire awe, meditation, and reflection. Cosmic reflections on Saturn and its rings. As we continue our journey around Saturn, it is impossible not to pause and reflect on the larger significance of this magnificent planet. Beyond its physical characteristics, the swirling clouds, icy rings, and orbiting moons, Saturn represents a profound interplay of forces that stretches across space and time. Its rings shimmer not just as particles of ice and rock, but as a testament to cosmic balance, impermanence, and harmony. Consider the sheer scale of Saturn. The planet is immense, more than 9 times the diameter of Earth, with a mass that exerts a commanding influence over its moons and surrounding debris. This mass governs motion, creating orbital rhythms that persist across millions of kilometers of space. Each particle in the rings, from microscopic dust to chunks several meters across, follows a trajectory dictated by Saturn's gravity, yet interacts with its neighbors in collisions and gentle nudges. The result is a system both orderly and dynamic, a living illustration of balance in motion. Saturn's rings, in particular, invite contemplation. They appear solid from afar, yet are composed of countless individual pieces, each moving in its orbit with precision. Some particles have existed for millions of years, remnants of ancient collisions, moon disruptions, or primordial material from the birth of the solar system. Others are newer, shaped by more recent events. Observing them is to witness the passage of time in motion. Patterns emerge, evolve, and fade. Waves ripple through the rings, gaps open and close. The rings are a mirror to the universe itself, dynamic, ever-changing, yet bound by invisible laws that maintain harmony. The moons that accompany Saturn add another layer of reflection. From Titan, with its dense atmosphere and lakes of hydrocarbons, to Enceladus, with its icy plumes hinting at subsurface oceans, each satellite embodies a chapter in Saturn's story. Their motions, interactions, and subtle gravitational influences shape the rings and one another. They demonstrate that even in vast spaces, relationships and connections define the structure of a system. No moon exists in isolation, just as no particle in the rings is independent. Everything is bound by forces that operate with precision and grace. Saturn also invites reflection on impermanence. Its rings are slowly evolving, gradually losing mass through ring rain and collisions. The dazzling spectacle we admire today may, over millions of years, fade into faint traces of ice and dust. This is a natural, inevitable process, a reminder that even magnificent structures are transient in the cosmic scale. Yet in their impermanence lies a profound lesson. Beauty is not diminished by its temporality, and systems achieve balance not by resisting change but by adapting within it. The magnetic field of Saturn, invisible yet powerful, adds another dimension to this cosmic reflection. Charged particles spiral along magnetic lines, influencing rings, moons, and the planet itself. This interplay reminds us that unseen forces shape reality, that what is not immediately visible may nonetheless guide the motions of the universe. Gravity, tidal forces, collisions, and magnetism all operate quietly and constantly, creating patterns of astonishing complexity and harmony. Beyond the science lies the philosophical wonder. As we imagine drifting above Saturn, seeing rings stretch into space, observing moons trace their silent paths, we connect with scales far beyond human comprehension. One can reflect on the paradox of magnitude and delicacy. A planet massive enough to dominate a system, yet gentle enough to allow a ring of fragile ice to orbit for millions of years. A system so immense and powerful, yet perfectly orchestrated, evokes awe, calm, and a deep sense of meditation. Saturn also teaches us about perspective. Our human experience is tiny against the backdrop of the solar system, yet through observation and understanding, we participate in the universe's story. We can comprehend mass, motion, and orbital dynamics, predict the evolution of rings, and glimpse the subtle interactions shaping the planet's moons. Saturn bridges the gap between observation and imagination, science and contemplation. In these reflections, the planet's rings become a metaphor for life itself, delicate, interconnected, dynamic, and impermanent. They invite us to witness motion and stillness simultaneously, to appreciate patterns and variations, and to recognize that harmony arises from the interplay of countless individual elements. Saturn is both a teacher and a companion, offering insight into the forces that govern the cosmos and the lessons that can be drawn from observing systems far larger than ourselves. Finally, contemplating Saturn invites calmness. The gentle rhythm of orbiting particles, the serene motion of moons, the subtle interactions of gravity and magnetism, all create a cosmic lullaby. It is a reminder that even in the vastness of space, there is order, beauty, and harmony. The planet spins, the rings shimmer, and the moons trace their paths. A quiet, timeless dance that soothes the mind, encourages reflection, and evokes peace. Saturn and its rings are more than celestial phenomena. They are a meditation on scale, balance, and cosmic grace. By observing, reflecting, and imagining, we can drift alongside them, following the rhythm of their motions, absorbing the harmony of their interactions, and letting the quiet majesty of this planetary giant guide our thoughts towards serenity and wonder. Saturn's moons, guardians and mysteries. Saturn is not alone in its grandeur. Surrounding the planet are over 80 known moons, each unique in size, composition, orbit, and character. These moons are not merely companions. They are active participants in the complex ballet that shapes Saturn's rings, atmosphere, and magnetic environment. They provide insights into planetary formation, celestial mechanics, and even the possibilities of life beyond Earth. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, is a world of wonder. Its thick, nitrogen-rich atmosphere is denser than Earth's, enveloping a landscape of lakes and rivers composed not of water, but of liquid methane and ethane. The chemical processes on Titan mirror, in some ways, the early conditions of our own planet, offering a window into prebiotic chemistry and the potential for life in alien environments. Titan's orbit and gravity subtly influence Saturn's rings, contributing to resonances that shape the distribution of icy particles and maintain the delicate structure of the outer ring system. Enceladus, though smaller, is equally remarkable. Its icy surface hides a subsurface ocean, kept liquid by tidal forces generated through its orbit around Saturn. Cryovolcanic plumes erupt from fractures near the South Pole, spewing water, ice, and organic molecules into space. These plumes feed portions of Saturn's E-ring, demonstrating that moons can actively contribute to the maintenance and evolution of ring systems. Enceladus is a reminder that even seemingly tiny bodies can exert outsized influence, their energy and motion shaping planetary environments in profound ways. Mimas, the so-called Death Star, moon due to its massive crater, exerts gravitational influence that maintains the prominent Cassini division in Saturn's rings. Its orbital resonance ensures that certain regions of the ring system remain clear, illustrating how even a relatively small moon can sculpt structures thousands of kilometers away. Meanwhile, smaller shepherd moons like Prometheus and Pandora confine particles within narrow rings, maintaining sharp edges and preventing the system from dispersing. Beyond these prominent examples lie dozens of irregular and minor moons, many captured from distant regions of the solar system or formed from fragmented material. Their eccentric orbits, diverse compositions, and interactions with rings and larger moons add layers of complexity to Saturn's system. Collisions among these moons and ring particles occasionally create debris that replenishes the rings, forming a dynamic cycle of destruction, creation, and renewal. Studying these moons illuminates broader cosmic principles. Each orbit is governed by mass and gravity, yet each interaction is unique. Resonances, tidal heating, collisions, and particle exchanges reveal the intricate network of forces that stabilize the system while allowing evolution. Saturn and its moons demonstrate that planetary systems are not static. They are dynamic, interconnected, and responsive to the smallest shifts in mass and motion. The moons also inspire philosophical reflection. Consider the scale. A single moon can influence ring patterns thousands of kilometers away, yet the entire system remains balanced, intricate, and harmonious. Each moon is a storyteller, preserving the history of collisions, migrations, and tidal forces that have shaped Saturn for billions of years. Observing their paths invites meditation on cause and effect, on balance, and on the interplay of countless elements to produce cosmic order. Finally, the moons remind us that even in a seemingly empty region of space, activity is constant. Particles collide, ice erupts, methane rains on Titan, and subtle gravitational nudges ripple through the rings. Saturn's system is alive with motion, a symphony orchestrated by mass, force, and time. By contemplating these moons, their diversity, influence, and mysteries, we deepen our understanding of Saturn, of planetary systems, and of the intricate balance that governs the cosmos. In imagining Saturn's moons, one can drift among them, moving from the hydrocarbon lakes of Titan to the icy plumes of Enceladus, witnessing the gravitational threads that bind them all to the planet. The moons are both guardians and participants, shaping rings, contributing material, and preserving the dynamic harmony of the Saturnian system. Their silent motion is a meditation on interconnection, influence, and cosmic beauty, a reminder that every object in the universe, no matter its size, contributes to the larger rhythm of creation. The hidden heart of Saturn, interior, storms, and rotation beneath Saturn's shimmering rings and tranquil appearance, lies a world of extraordinary energy, turbulence, and motion. Its clouds, storms, and interior dynamics are a testament to the planet's immense mass and the powerful forces that govern its behavior. To understand Saturn fully, we must peer beneath the visible layers and explore the hidden heart of this gas giant. Saturn's interior is layered and complex. The outermost region consists of hydrogen and helium gas, swirling in bands and clouds visible from Earth and spacecraft alike. Beneath this gaseous shell lies a vast layer of metallic hydrogen, where immense pressure transforms ordinary hydrogen into a liquid metal capable of conducting electricity. This metallic hydrogen layer is crucial in generating Saturn's magnetic field, which extends far into space and interacts with its rings and moons. At the very center, a dense core composed of rock and ice provides the gravitational anchor that allows Saturn to dominate its surroundings. The planet's rotation plays a critical role in shaping its visible form and dynamics. Saturn completes a rotation in just over 10 hours, a remarkable speed for such a massive body. This rapid rotation flattens the planet at the poles and bulges at the equator, giving it an oblate shape that is more pronounced than any other planet in the solar system. The centrifugal force from this spin contributes to the organization of clouds, bands, and storms in its atmosphere, creating patterns that ripple across the planet with hypnotic regularity. Storms on Saturn are a constant feature, from small, transient cloud systems to massive, long-lived ovals larger than Earth itself. These storms result from the convective motion of gases, the rapid rotation, and the interaction of different layers within the atmosphere. Lightning, winds, and turbulent vortices create an ever-changing tapestry of motion. Observing these storms, one can imagine the immense energy contained within Saturn, a planet whose mass and internal dynamics generate phenomena on scales almost incomprehensible to humans. Beneath the clouds, heat from Saturn's interior rises slowly, driving circulation and influencing atmospheric patterns. This internal energy, combined with solar input, sustains the bands of clouds, the hexagonal vortex at the North Pole, and the rhythmic wave patterns that drift across the atmosphere. Even though Saturn appears calm from a distance, its interior is alive with motion, a churning engine powering storms, magnetic fields, and subtle gravitational interactions with rings and moons. The mass of Saturn governs everything in its system. Its gravity shapes the orbits of moons, constrains ring particles within precise boundaries, and creates tidal forces that heat and influence satellites like Enceladus. The planet's rapid rotation interacts with this mass, flattening the planet and affecting the motion of its atmosphere and magnetic field. These internal and external dynamics are intimately connected, illustrating how mass, motion, and energy converge to produce the observable phenomena we admire from afar. Saturn's interior also connects to its rings in subtle ways. Magnetic interactions influence charged ice particles, guiding their motion and contributing to phenomena such as spokes, transient radial features observed in the rings. The gravitational pull of Saturn, combined with the orbital influence of its moons, maintains the intricate gaps, ringlets, and waves that define the system. In essence, the hidden heart of the planet governs both what is visible and what is invisible, orchestrating the motion of countless particles in a cosmic dance. Even the seemingly static features, like the hexagon at Saturn's North Pole, reveal the underlying dynamics of rotation, wind shear, and atmospheric flow. This geometric pattern, a hexagonal storm larger than Earth, persists over decades, a visible reminder that Saturn's interior energy and rapid spin can create long-lasting, stable structures amid constant motion. Philosophically, contemplating Saturn's hidden heart encourages reflection on depth, complexity, and the unseen forces that shape reality. Just as the planet's interior drives storms, magnetic fields, and ring interactions, unseen forces govern systems on all scales, from the motion of galaxies to the rhythms of life. The planet teaches patience and awe. What is visible is only part of the story, and the most profound influences often operate beneath the surface, subtle yet powerful, shaping structure, motion, and harmony. Imagine drifting above Saturn, gazing at the swirling clouds and hexagonal storm, feeling the quiet presence of its immense mass beneath, and sensing the magnetic and gravitational forces that reach far into space. The planet's interior hums with energy, its rotation orchestrates motion, and its storms dance across its vast surface, a reminder that even the mightiest and most serene systems are powered by hidden currents, driving change and beauty across unimaginable scales. Saturn's interior, storms, and rotation are more than scientific phenomena. They are a meditation on energy, mass, and motion. They remind us that beauty arises from complexity, that harmony emerges from dynamic forces, and that the universe operates with balance, rhythm, and order. In observing Saturn, we witness not just a planet, but a symphony of motion, a living system in which mass, gravity, and energy converge to create patterns of astonishing scale and elegance. Saturn's cosmic influence, the guardian of the solar system. While Saturn's beauty captivates with its rings, storms, and moons, its true influence extends far beyond what the eye can see. The planet's immense mass, powerful gravity, and orbital dynamics allow it to shape the solar system itself, acting as a silent guardian that stabilizes or perturbs the paths of countless celestial objects. By understanding this influence, we gain insight not only into Saturn, but also into the delicate balance that governs planetary systems. Saturn's gravitational pull reaches across millions of kilometers, subtly affecting the orbits of neighboring planets, moons, and smaller bodies. Its position in the outer solar system, beyond Jupiter but within the domain of the ice giants, makes it a crucial stabilizing force. Comets and asteroids that wander into the outer planetary region often feel Saturn's tug, which can redirect their paths, prevent potential collisions, or guide them into resonances with other planets. In this way, Saturn acts as a cosmic shepherd, influencing motion across the solar system while remaining serene and seemingly distant. The planet's influence is particularly evident in the asteroid belt. Saturn, along with Jupiter, contributes to the formation of Kirkwood gaps, regions in the belt where orbital resonances create voids. The combined gravitational tugs of these giants prevent certain orbits from remaining stable, effectively shaping the distribution of asteroids over billions of years. This subtle orchestration ensures that planetary orbits remain relatively stable, reducing the risk of chaotic collisions in the inner solar system. Saturn's role may be quiet and slow, but it is fundamental in maintaining the long-term harmony of the planetary neighborhood. Beyond asteroids, Saturn interacts with comets and Kuiper belt objects. Many long-period comets, originating from the distant Oort cloud, pass near Saturn during their journeys toward the inner solar system. The planet's gravity can redirect these icy bodies, altering their trajectories or even capturing fragments into temporary orbits. Occasionally, comets collide with Saturn, leaving visible scars in its atmosphere or contributing material to the ring system. These interactions highlight the interconnectedness of the solar system, where a single planet's mass and gravity can influence objects millions of kilometers away. Saturn also plays a role in protecting inner planets, including Earth, from frequent impacts. Its mass acts as a gravitational shield, drawing in or deflecting comets and meteoroids that might otherwise pose a threat. Jupiter is often credited as the solar system's primary protector. But Saturn's contributions are equally vital. Together, these gas giants create a dynamic barrier, reducing the frequency of catastrophic collisions in the inner solar system and allowing conditions for life to persist on Earth. The planet's moons further enhance this cosmic influence. Large satellites like Titan and Enceladus exert additional gravitational forces that shape ring particles, influence orbital resonances, and even contribute material to the outer regions of the solar system through geysers or ejecta. In this sense, Saturn and its moons form a cohesive system whose combined mass and motion extend Saturn's reach far beyond the planet itself. Even the most subtle features, such as ring particles or tiny irregular moons, play a role in the planet's cosmic influence. By interacting with each other and with Saturn's gravity, these small bodies participate in an ongoing dance that maintains orbital stability. Waves, gaps, and resonances in the rings are miniature analogs of larger-scale orbital dynamics in the solar system, revealing that patterns of harmony operate across all scales of motion. Contemplating Saturn's cosmic influence inspires reflection on scale, time, and interconnection. The planet exerts force silently and constantly, shaping the solar system over billions of years, yet its presence is imperceptible in everyday life. It demonstrates that true power is often subtle, expressed through consistent influence rather than dramatic displays. Its gravitational mastery guides motion, maintains stability, and orchestrates the flow of celestial bodies, a cosmic meditation in action. From a philosophical perspective, Saturn teaches patience and perspective. Just as the planet maintains balance across the solar system, forces beyond human perception shape our environment, society, and universe. Observing Saturn reminds us that order arises from persistent, unseen influence, and that harmony is maintained through interactions both large and small, visible and invisible. Imagine drifting in space beyond Saturn, observing its rings glimmer in the sunlight, moons tracing silent paths, and countless distant asteroids and comets responding to its gravitational pull. The planet's presence radiates authority, serenity, and rhythm, orchestrating the motion of the solar system in quiet majesty. Its influence is pervasive, yet gentle, guiding the dance of planets, moons, and smaller bodies across billions of kilometers of space. In the grand tapestry of the cosmos, Saturn is both a participant and a guardian. It shapes motion, preserves stability, and maintains harmony, ensuring that the solar system continues its elegant dance around the Sun. By contemplating Saturn's role, we gain not only scientific insight but also a meditative sense of cosmic order, a reminder that even in the vastness of space, forces operate with balance, subtlety, and timeless grace. Saturn is more than a planet. It is a cosmic stabilizer, a conductor of celestial motion, and a silent guardian guiding the solar system through the vast expanse of time and space. Its influence teaches awe, patience, and reflection, preparing the mind to drift into serenity and wonder as we continue our journey among the stars. Saturn through human eyes, observation, exploration, and understanding Saturn has captivated humanity for centuries, its distant brilliance visible even to the naked eye, shining as a pale golden jewel in the night sky. Long before telescopes or spacecraft, ancient civilizations observed this wandering star with wonder, assigning it significance in myth, astrology, and early astronomy. Its slow, majestic movement against the backdrop of constellations invited reflection on the scale of the cosmos and our place within it. The invention of the telescope transformed our perception of Saturn. Galileo first glimpsed the planet's rings in 1610, though his limited optics made them appear as ears or appendages. Later, Christian Huygens correctly identified the structure as a ring, a monumental leap in understanding that bridged imagination and observation. Through the centuries, increasingly powerful telescopes revealed bands, moons, and the subtle divisions within the rings, gradually unveiling a system of astonishing complexity and beauty. Each advancement in optics and technique allowed humans to see further, clearer, and deeper, connecting our senses to the subtle rhythms and patterns of this distant giant. Modern spacecraft have revolutionized our understanding. Pioneer 11 provided the first close-up images, followed by Voyager 1 and 2, which revealed the rings' intricacy and the rich variety of moons orbiting Saturn. Yet it was the Cassini mission that truly transformed our perception. For over a decade, Cassini orbited Saturn, transmitting stunning images and data, uncovering storms, magnetic interactions, geysers, and even chemical clues about the potential for life on moons like Enceladus. The mission revealed the dynamic interplay of forces within the rings, the gravitational influence of moons, and the subtle processes shaping the planet itself. Human exploration of Saturn is not only a scientific pursuit, but also a profoundly meditative experience. Through images and data, we observe the slow, majestic motion of rings, the graceful orbits of moons, and the constant evolution of storms. Every photograph, every measurement, every particle analyzed provides a window into processes that occur on scales both immense and minute, stretching across millions of kilometers, yet unfolding according to fundamental laws of physics. Saturn becomes a teacher, offering lessons about mass, gravity, motion, and time, inviting contemplation as much as study. The human experience of Saturn is also temporal. When we observe the planet, we look into the past. Light from Saturn takes over an hour to reach Earth, meaning we see the planet not as it is now, but as it existed long before. Its rings shimmer with particles whose collisions and motion have persisted for millions of years. Its storms trace patterns shaped by centuries of atmospheric circulation. Observing Saturn is, in essence, a meditation on time, on continuity, change, and the persistence of natural forces across scales that dwarf human life. Saturn's moons, too, enrich our understanding. Titan, with its complex atmosphere, and Enceladus, with its erupting plumes, reveal conditions far removed from Earth yet governed by the same physical principles. Studying these worlds deepens our appreciation for the diversity of planetary environments and expands our imagination about where life might exist elsewhere in the cosmos. Human curiosity, guided by observation and exploration, transforms distant worlds into sources of knowledge, inspiration, and reflection. In observing Saturn, humans also learn about humility and perspective. The planet's vast size, the intricate motion of its rings, and the delicate balance of moons orbiting in harmony remind us of our smallness in the cosmic scale. Yet simultaneously, our ability to study, understand, and reflect upon Saturn underscores the power of human intelligence and imagination. Through telescopes, spacecraft, and data analysis, we bridge the immense distances of space, connecting our consciousness to events occurring millions of kilometers away. There is a meditative quality in this act of observation. As one contemplates images of Saturn's rings, glowing under sunlight, or drifts through animations of its orbiting moons, the mind can follow the rhythm of motion, the elegance of orbits, and the interplay of forces shaping the system. The planet teaches patience, awe, and reflection. It reminds us that the universe operates on scales and timelines far beyond immediate perception, yet patterns, harmony, and order persist throughout. Human understanding of Saturn is both cumulative and evolving. Each observation builds upon centuries of inquiry, from ancient naked-eye astronomy to the sophisticated instruments of today. Every mission, telescope, and analysis expands our perspective, revealing not only the mechanics of the planet but also its role in the larger cosmic story. Saturn becomes a bridge between knowledge and wonder, science and meditation, observation and imagination. In this sense, Saturn is more than a planet. It is a companion to human curiosity. It draws the mind outward, encouraging contemplation of mass, motion, and the rhythms of the cosmos. Its rings, storms, moons, and magnetic fields are not just physical phenomena. They are invitations to reflect on time, space, and our connection to the universe. As humans observe, explore, and understand Saturn, we participate in a dialogue across space and time, connecting our consciousness to a distant giant whose influence, beauty, and complexity inspire both knowledge and serenity. By tracing Saturn's majesty through human eyes, we learn patience, humility, and wonder. The planet's presence in our night sky, its subtle interactions with moons and rings, and the insights gained through exploration teach that observation is both a scientific and meditative pursuit. Saturn becomes a symbol of cosmic harmony, a teacher whose lessons unfold slowly, inviting reflection and awe as we journey ever deeper into understanding the universe around us. Saturn across time, past, present, and future Saturn is a witness to the immense passage of time, a sentinel of the solar system whose formation, evolution, and eventual destiny are intertwined with the story of our cosmic neighborhood. To contemplate Saturn is to contemplate billions of years, the slow unfolding of matter, energy, and motion that has shaped not only the planet itself, but the wider system in which it resides. Billions of years ago, Saturn formed from the swirling protoplanetary disk surrounding the newborn sun. Gas and dust, drawn together by gravity, coalesced into planetesimals, which merged into a massive core. Hydrogen and helium, abundant in the early solar system, were drawn in to form the thick, gaseous envelope that defines Saturn today. Its rapid rotation, flattened shape, and immense mass were set in motion during these earliest moments, establishing the framework for the complex system we observe today, complete with rings and moons. Throughout its long history, Saturn has interacted with countless objects. Collisions, tidal forces, and gravitational nudges have sculpted the planet's environment. Rings may have formed from disrupted moons or cometary debris. Moons themselves have been captured, formed, or reshaped by the planet's gravity. Over billions of years, these interactions have created a delicate and dynamic balance, a system where every particle, every moon, and every band of gas participates in an intricate dance. Saturn's history is written in ice, rock, and motion, a record of cosmic forces operating across incomprehensible spans of time. In the present, Saturn continues this story with quiet majesty. Its rings shimmer in sunlight, moons trace graceful orbits, storms churn across the atmosphere, and the planet's magnetic field extends far into space. Observing Saturn today is to witness a system in equilibrium yet alive with motion, a snapshot of cosmic balance. The intricate structures in the rings, the subtle tidal influences on moons, and the persistent storms all reflect forces set in motion billions of years ago and continuing in the present moment. Saturn teaches that even seemingly eternal structures are the product of dynamic processes, constantly evolving yet maintaining harmony. Looking to the future, Saturn's story continues to unfold. Its rings will gradually erode, losing mass through ring rain and particle collisions, until the spectacular bands we admire today may fade into faint traces of ice and dust. Moons will continue to migrate slowly, influenced by tidal forces and gravitational interactions, while storms, winds, and internal dynamics reshape the atmosphere. Even as the planet ages, the principles of motion, mass, and energy will persist, ensuring that Saturn remains a dynamic, evolving system. Its ultimate destiny is entwined with the solar system itself, a cosmic narrative stretching into the deep future. In contemplating Saturn across time, we also reflect on the nature of the universe. The processes that govern Saturn, formation from a protoplanetary disk, evolution through collisions and tidal forces, and gradual transformation, mirror the broader rhythms of cosmic history. Stars are born and die, planets form and change, galaxies collide and merge. Saturn is a microcosm of these larger cycles, a reminder that time and change are inherent to the cosmos, and that every structure from the smallest ring particle to the mightiest planet participates in an ongoing narrative. Philosophically, Saturn's place in time invites meditation. Imagine the planet billions of years ago, forming in a chaotic disk of gas and dust. Then visualize it today, serene yet dynamic, rings glimmering and moons tracing precise paths. Now consider the distant future when the rings fade, moons drift slightly, and Saturn continues its orbit around the Sun, enduring yet changed. In this continuum, we perceive not just the planet's history, but the persistent laws of nature that govern all motion and change. Saturn becomes a lens through which we observe impermanence, continuity, and the elegance of cosmic order. Observing Saturn across time also fosters perspective. Human lifetimes are but fleeting moments compared to the planet's billions of years of existence. Yet through observation, imagination, and exploration, we connect to these vast spans, participating in a story far larger than ourselves. Saturn teaches patience, humility, and wonder, reminding us that while individual events may pass, the rhythms of the universe endure, flowing with quiet majesty across space and time. As we drift mentally alongside Saturn, we can witness billions of years condensed into patterns of rings, orbits, and storms. Each particle of ice, each moon, and each wave in the atmosphere carries a memory of the past and a trajectory into the future. Saturn's existence is a meditation on scale, motion, and the inexorable passage of time, a cosmic reflection inviting us to consider our place within a vast and harmonious universe. In this way, Saturn transcends its physicality. It is not merely a planet of gas, ice, and rock, but a storyteller, a guide, and a meditation on the rhythms of existence. Its past, present, and future are interwoven with the forces of gravity, motion, and energy, providing a lens through which we may contemplate impermanence, continuity, and cosmic elegance. Saturn is both ancient and eternal in its processes, a teacher whose lessons unfold slowly, encouraging reflection, awe, and a deep sense of connection to the universe. The dance of rings and moons, Saturn's celestial choreography. Saturn's rings are not merely static ornaments. They are vibrant, dynamic structures, constantly shaped and reshaped by the gravitational pull of the planet and its myriad moons. Each particle, from tiny specks of ice to boulders meters across, follows precise orbital paths, yet interacts with neighbors in subtle, mesmerizing ways. This continuous interaction creates waves, gaps, and resonances that reveal the hidden rhythm of the Saturnian system. The moons, both large and small, act as cosmic choreographers. Shepherd moons like Prometheus and Pandora maintain the sharp edges of narrow rings, corralling particles with delicate gravitational nudges. Without their guidance, ring material would gradually disperse, losing the intricate patterns that make Saturn's rings so breathtaking. In effect, these moons act as guardians, ensuring that the dance of the particles remains harmonious, ordered, and elegant across vast distances. Resonances play a key role in this celestial ballet. Orbital resonances occur when a ring particle's orbital period is in a simple ratio with that of a moon. These resonances can create gaps, waves, or spiral density patterns within the rings. For example, the Cassini division, a prominent dark gap in the rings, results from a resonance with Mimas, Saturn's Death Star moon. Each gap, wave, or edge in the rings is a visible testament to the invisible gravitational choreography conducted by Saturn and its satellites. Collisions among ring particles add another layer of dynamism. These interactions are gentle, rarely catastrophic, but they redistribute angular momentum, alter particle orbits slightly, and generate transient structures that ripple outward. Over time, these microcollisions maintain the ring's thin, flat structure, preventing particles from clumping excessively while allowing the formation of transient waves and spokes that appear and fade in the system. Beyond shepherd moons, Saturn's larger satellites also influence the rings. Titan, Saturn's massive moon, generates subtle gravitational effects that create bending waves and vertical disturbances in the rings. Even distant moons exert minor tugs that propagate through the ring system, demonstrating that Saturn's gravitational reach extends far beyond the planet itself. Each moon participates in a network of interactions, a multi-scale choreography that stretches across thousands of kilometers. This dance is not static. Rings evolve over time due to collisions, meteoroid bombardment, and the gradual loss of material through ring rain, where particles spiral into Saturn's atmosphere. Yet within this evolution, a remarkable stability persists. Patterns repeat, gaps remain aligned, and waves propagate in predictable ways. Observing this system is like watching a symphony of countless moving elements, each following its own path yet contributing to a larger harmonious whole. Philosophically, the dance of Saturn's rings and moons invites meditation on interconnectedness. Every particle and moon, regardless of size, plays a role in maintaining balance. Even the smallest perturbation can ripple outward, altering patterns subtly yet persistently. The system demonstrates that harmony arises not from rigidity, but from continuous interaction, adjustment, and responsiveness. Saturn teaches that order is dynamic, that beauty emerges from motion, and that stability is achieved through constant, gentle negotiation among countless elements. Imagine drifting above Saturn, watching the rings shimmer and ripple under sunlight, moons tracing their orbital paths with elegance, and subtle waves moving through icy particles. The scene is not static but alive, a choreography of forces and motion, where every element, no matter how small, contributes to the grand design. In this interplay, the mind can relax, following the rhythm of motion, the repetition of patterns, and the serenity of cosmic order. The dance of Saturn's rings and moons is a living testament to the principles of physics and the elegance of natural design. Gravitational interactions, resonances, and collisions combine to create structures that are both complex and delicate, enduring yet ever-changing. Saturn's system is a meditation in motion, a visual and conceptual symphony that evokes awe, calm, and reflection. By contemplating this celestial dance, one gains a profound sense of connection to the planet, its moons, and the cosmic forces that govern all motion. Saturn becomes a teacher of rhythm, harmony, and interdependence, demonstrating that even in vast, distant space, patterns emerge, balance is maintained, and beauty arises from the continuous interplay of countless moving parts. Saturn's magnetic symphony, fields, auroras, and invisible forces. Saturn is more than a dazzling display of rings and moons. It is a dynamic planet governed by invisible forces, chief among them its powerful magnetic field. Generated deep within the planet, in the layer of metallic hydrogen surrounding its core, Saturn's magnetic field extends millions of kilometers into space, shaping charged particles, guiding moons, and interacting subtly with its rings. It is a silent, invisible force, yet its effects are both profound and mesmerizing. The magnetic field of Saturn is nearly aligned with its rotational axis, a rare characteristic among planets, and creates a vast magnetosphere, an invisible bubble that shields the planet and its moons from the solar wind. Within this magnetosphere, charged particles are trapped and guided along magnetic lines, producing spiraling currents, subtle interactions with rings, and spectacular light shows known as auroras. These auroras, visible near the poles, are ethereal curtains of light dancing in ultraviolet and infrared wavelengths, a luminous manifestation of energy flowing through Saturn's magnetic domain. Auroras on Saturn are both beautiful and complex. Unlike Earth's familiar northern and southern lights, Saturn's auroras can form enormous ovals that encircle the poles, driven by interactions between the solar wind, the magnetic field, and the planet's rapid rotation. Variations in intensity, shape, and color occur as charged particles collide with molecules in the upper atmosphere, releasing energy as shimmering light. Observing these auroras, even through images captured by spacecraft, is a meditative experience, a reminder that invisible forces create visible beauty in ways both subtle and extraordinary. The magnetic field also interacts with Saturn's moons and rings. Charged particles from the magnetosphere can bombard the icy surfaces of moons like Enceladus and Tethys, altering their chemical composition over time. Ring particles, especially in the outer regions, are influenced by electromagnetic forces, creating transient features such as spokes, radial patterns that appear and vanish, dancing in sync with the planet's rotation and magnetic rhythm. In this way, Saturn's invisible forces manifest as motion, pattern, and light, connecting seemingly separate elements into a cohesive, dynamic system. Beneath these phenomena lies the profound influence of Saturn's interior. The metallic hydrogen layer, under immense pressure, flows and rotates, generating electric currents that sustain the magnetic field. This field is a direct product of the planet's mass, rotation, and internal dynamics, linking the deep interior to the visible world of rings, moons, and auroras. In contemplating Saturn, one observes a seamless continuum. Forces from the core ripple outward, shaping motion, light, and energy across millions of kilometers. Philosophically, Saturn's magnetic field invites reflection on the unseen forces in our own lives and in the universe. Just as the magnetosphere guides charged particles, structures patterns, and creates beauty, invisible dynamics shape motion and behavior across scales both large and small. Energy flows silently yet decisively, creating order, rhythm, and interconnectedness that may not be immediately apparent but are fundamental to the system's harmony. Imagine drifting above Saturn, gazing at auroras swirling around the poles, spokes appearing in the rings, and moons subtly responding to magnetic nudges. The planet hums with energy, invisible yet tangible in its effects, a symphony of motion and force orchestrated on a cosmic scale. Observing these phenomena evokes awe, serenity, and contemplation, as one follows the rhythm of unseen currents guiding the planet's environment. Saturn's magnetic field and auroras remind us that power and influence are not always visible. The most profound forces often operate silently, shaping motion, creating structure, and producing beauty. Saturn teaches patience, awareness, and reflection. To appreciate the harmony of a system, one must look beyond the immediately visible and attune to the subtle interactions that sustain it. In the grand tapestry of Saturn, rings, moons, storms, and auroras are threads woven together by invisible forces. The magnetic field is the loom on which this tapestry is created, connecting interior energy to atmospheric phenomena, ring dynamics, and auroral light. Contemplating this system allows the mind to relax, tracing the flow of energy, the rhythm of motion, and the elegance of unseen yet powerful influences. Saturn's magnetic symphony is a meditation in invisible forces, a cosmic demonstration of order arising from energy, motion, and interaction. It reminds us that the universe operates on principles both subtle and profound, that beauty often arises from what cannot be seen, and that harmony is maintained through interconnected dynamics across vast scales of space and time. Saturn's rings, while dazzling in their beauty, are not eternal. They are dynamic, evolving structures, shaped by collisions, gravitational forces, and subtle interactions with moons and the planet itself. Observing these rings is to witness a fleeting, ephemeral feature of the cosmos, one that changes over time yet endures long enough to inspire awe and contemplation. The rings are composed primarily of ice particles, ranging in size from tiny grains to massive boulders, each orbiting Saturn under the influence of gravity. Over millions of years, these particles collide, fragment, and occasionally coalesce, creating transient structures, waves, and gaps. Even gentle collisions are enough to alter trajectories slightly, causing the rings to spread outward or drift inward, a slow migration that continues to reshape the system. Interactions with moons are another crucial factor in the rings' evolution. Shepherd moons maintain sharp edges, while larger moons influence the formation of gaps and density waves. The material within the rings is not static. It is gradually lost to Saturn through a process known as ring rain, where charged ice particles spiral into the planet's atmosphere. Over time, this loss may significantly diminish the rings, turning them from the brilliant bands we see today into faint, diffuse structures. Meteoroid bombardment also plays a role in ring evolution. Small impacts can grind down particles, generate dust, and inject new energy into the system. Over billions of years, these cumulative interactions shape the rings' texture, color, and density, revealing a slow yet inexorable process of transformation. What we observe in any given moment is a snapshot in an ongoing evolution that spans astronomical timescales. The formation of the rings themselves may have been a product of cosmic impermanence. Some theories suggest they formed from the destruction of a moon or the remnants of comets captured and torn apart by Saturn's gravity. In this sense, the rings are already echoes of past events, a testament to the planet's ability to sculpt order from chaos. Their eventual fading is merely the continuation of this natural cycle, illustrating that even structures of stunning beauty are temporary on cosmic scales. The future of Saturn's system extends beyond the rings. Moons will continue to migrate, influenced by tidal forces and resonances, while storms and atmospheric currents evolve slowly over centuries. Saturn itself will age, its rotation gradually slowing, its internal heat dissipating. These transformations will unfold over timescales far beyond human comprehension, yet they follow the predictable laws of physics, a cosmic rhythm that persists even as individual features fade or change. Observing the evolution and fate of Saturn's rings encourages reflection on impermanence and change. Just as the rings will eventually disperse, so too do many features of the universe transform over time. Stars are born and die, planets shift and migrate, and galaxies collide and merge. Saturn's rings serve as a reminder that beauty is often temporary, yet the processes that create and sustain it endure, a meditation on continuity amid transformation. Philosophically, Saturn's rings teach patience and perspective. Their slow evolution unfolds over millions of years, far beyond the scale of human experience. Yet by observing them, imagining their motion, and contemplating their eventual fate, we connect to these vast temporal scales, gaining a sense of the enduring principles that govern the cosmos. The ring's ephemeral beauty becomes a lesson in appreciating the present moment, even as it acknowledges the inevitability of change. Imagine drifting above Saturn, watching ring particles collide and drift, Waves ripple through the icy bands, and shepherd moons guide the flow with delicate nudges. The scene is alive yet serene, a meditation on motion, impermanence, and cosmic balance. One can sense the past encoded in every particle, the present in every orbit, and the future unfolding in slow, inevitable transformation. Saturn's rings are more than physical structures. They are symbols of cosmic rhythm, impermanence, and harmony. Their evolution illustrates the interplay of forces, the passage of time, and the elegance of natural laws. By contemplating the rings' fate, we meditate on the transient yet enduring nature of the universe, finding serenity in the balance of creation, motion, and eventual dissolution. In the grand narrative of Saturn, the rings are a chapter of ephemeral brilliance, a visual and conceptual symphony that bridges past, present, and future. Their evolution and eventual fading remind us that change is inherent to the cosmos, yet within this change lies beauty, order, and the quiet majesty of forces operating across vast scales of space and time. Saturn teaches that transformation is natural, that impermanence can be serene, and that the universe itself is a meditation in motion. Saturn, a cosmic meditation on majesty, motion, and harmony. Saturn is more than a planet. It is a testament to the grandeur, complexity, and serenity of the cosmos. From the first glimpses by ancient stargazers to the precise observations of modern spacecraft, Saturn has captivated human curiosity and imagination. Its rings shimmer like icy ribbons. Its moons trace precise paths in elegant orbits. Its storms churn with invisible energy, and its magnetic field hums silently across millions of kilometers. In contemplating Saturn, we do more than study a celestial body. We enter into a dialogue with the universe itself, observing motion, energy, and harmony on a scale that stretches the mind and soothes the spirit. The story of Saturn begins in the swirling chaos of the protoplanetary disk around the newborn sun. Billions of years ago, gas, dust, and ice coalesced under gravity, forming a massive core that drew in hydrogen and helium to create the planet we see today. Its rapid rotation and immense mass established the framework for its flattened shape, storms, and magnetic field. From its earliest formation to its present state, Saturn has been a living system of motion and interaction, a dynamic planet whose evolution mirrors the greater rhythms of the cosmos. Saturn's rings, delicate and radiant, offer a window into these cosmic rhythms. Composed of countless particles of ice and rock, these rings swirl in synchronized motion, guided by gravity, collisions, and the subtle nudges of shepherd moons. Each particle is a dancer in a vast, invisible choreography, responding to resonances, tidal forces, and electromagnetic influences. Waves ripple through the rings, gaps form and persist, and ephemeral spokes appear and vanish, silent reminders that even the most enduring beauty arises from continuous motion and interaction. Moons enrich this celestial ballet, each contributing its unique influence. Massive Titan shapes subtle bending waves. Enceladus vents plumes that feed the outer system. Small shepherd moons corral particles and maintain order. Together, moons and rings form an interconnected system, where motion, gravity, and resonance create harmony across millions of kilometers. Observing this dance is both a scientific endeavor and a meditative experience, allowing the mind to trace patterns, follow rhythms, and witness order emerging from motion. Beneath the visible surface, Saturn's interior drives the planet's energy and magnetic field. Metallic hydrogen flows under immense pressure, generating electric currents that sustain a magnetosphere extending far into space. Charged particles dance along magnetic lines, producing auroras that shimmer in ultraviolet and infrared light. These invisible forces shape the planet's environment, interact with moons and rings, and remind us that some of the most profound influences are unseen, yet fundamental to harmony and motion. The storms and atmospheric currents of Saturn illustrate the dynamic complexity of the planet. Winds blow at thousands of kilometers per hour, hexagonal vortices swirl around poles, and convective currents rise and fall with quiet power. Even in apparent calm, Saturn is alive with motion, a living system where energy circulates from the interior to the atmosphere, influencing everything from cloud bands to ring interactions. The planet teaches that serenity is not absence of motion, but the elegant orchestration of forces in balance. Saturn's cosmic influence extends far beyond itself. Its gravity shapes the asteroid belt, deflects comets, and stabilizes the orbits of neighboring planets. Together with Jupiter, Saturn acts as a guardian of the inner solar system, reducing the frequency of catastrophic impacts and allowing life on Earth to flourish. Observing this influence reminds us that even distant giants play a role in the interconnected web of the universe, where every force, mass, and motion resonates across space and time. Throughout human history, Saturn has inspired wonder, reflection, and imagination. Ancient stargazers saw a wandering star. Galileo glimpsed appendages that would later be understood as rings. Cassini revealed a system of astonishing complexity and subtlety. Each discovery has deepened our understanding while expanding our sense of awe. Observing Saturn today is both a scientific achievement and a meditative act, connecting human consciousness to a distant world in a dialogue that spans billions of years of cosmic time. The rings, moons, storms, and auroras all speak of impermanence and continuity. Rings slowly evolve, losing material through ring rain. Moons migrate under tidal forces. Storms rise and fade, yet the system persists in harmony. Saturn teaches patience and perspective, showing that beauty is often fleeting, yet processes endure, creating patterns, motion, and elegance across unimaginable scales. It reminds us that change is natural, yet order and rhythm can persist even amid transformation. As we contemplate Saturn, we witness a symphony of motion. The slow orbit of moons, the rhythmic swirl of storms, the delicate choreography of ring particles, and the invisible currents of magnetic forces combine into a living system that is both vast and serene. This system invites reflection, allowing the mind to relax, follow patterns, and meditate on the principles of harmony, energy, and interconnection. Saturn becomes a teacher, showing that even in immense complexity, balance emerges, beauty persists, and forces operate in elegant synchrony. In essence, Saturn is a meditation in motion, a cosmic mirror reflecting principles of gravity, mass, energy, and time. Its past, present, and future reveal the delicate interplay of creation, transformation, and endurance. Its rings, moons, and magnetic field demonstrate that even invisible forces can shape visible beauty, that motion can create serenity, and that impermanence does not diminish significance or awe. Drifting above Saturn in imagination, one can watch icy particles shimmer, auroras dance, and moons trace graceful paths. The mind absorbs the rhythm of the system, the elegance of natural laws, and the serene grandeur of a planet that has existed for billions of years and will continue to evolve long after we are gone. In this meditation, we sense the continuity of the cosmos, the subtlety of forces, and the eternal dance of matter and energy that underlies every motion, every pattern, and every shimmer of light. Saturn is more than a planet. It is a cosmic teacher, a guardian of harmony, and a living meditation on motion, beauty, and time. It reminds us that the universe is vast, interconnected, and enduring, that order emerges from interaction, and that awe and serenity arise not from stillness alone, but from witnessing the elegant rhythm of forces in motion. In the end, contemplating Saturn is a journey through space, time, and consciousness, a gentle, immersive voyage into the majesty of the cosmos. Don't forget to subscribe for more scientific facts.